What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I'm supposed to be on recording with Ralph right now. You're not Ralph. Why are you here?
Uh, uh, well, listen, the thing about diversity, equity, inclusion is
Get
that
out.
what do you mean get out?
Get out.
Like you want me to
Go
live?
away.
Okay, all right, Jesus.
Okay, so you're softer than North Carolina. Because the world told North Carolina to go away and they wouldn't, Cart.
Oh,
But
you
you
know
just
what?
fold. You
Oh,
just run away.
piss
North,
off.
North Carolina should not be here, but they are here in the play-in in Dayton as an 11 seed against San Diego State, the Aztecs. One of these two teams has 6 wins against Ken Palm top 50 opponents, and it's not North Carolina. They have two this season. Should be an interesting matchup. Motivationally, I will be very curious to see how this North Carolina team looks after being gifted a spot in this tournament that nobody expected. What do you expect between these two teams?
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup because I think given how UNC got in the tournament, obviously you know what's surrounding them being in it. Everyone's saying they should not be here, but yet they find themselves in the play-in. Going up against a San Diego State team that has some good wins this year, I must say, and is very good defensively. And they got some players that I'm a fan of. The people who were watching the FAU run will recognize Nick Boyd. I think Miles Bird's a guy that could be an NBA player one day. They also got sorry if I butchered this, Magoon Gwath, I think is his name. Uh, Elite defensive player, like shot blocker. He pops off the page with a lot of stuff that he does. But I thought San Diego State should have been better this year, given how they were early on in the non-conference, and they probably sucks to find themselves in the play-in in this situation. And then they're going up against North Carolina, who is the brand, RJ Davis. They have some guys on the team, so it's an intriguing matchup. Um, that I have gone back and forth on already, even in the early days of looking at this.
So, in general, do you view either of these teams as a good basketball team?
No.
I do view San Diego State as a good basketball team, Card.
Mm.
I do. I don't North Carolina. I view San Diego State better. Now the analytics would tell us North Carolina's 13 spots better than San Diego State. Again, I think Carolina's analytics are boosted quite a bit by being able to blow out some pretty awful ACC opponents. You play more awful teams in the ACC this year than I think you do in the Mountain West. It's just the reality of what they were able to do. When they went up against anybody that was top 50, it showed you their true colors time and time again. They couldn't compete. The only game they showed up for and really competed in a loss, in my opinion, was the Cooper Flagless Duke game, and give them credit, but they were down 24 in the first half in that game. So I like the San Diego State team card. I think there's upside with the San Diego State team. This team beat Creighton by 18 on a neutral. This team beat Houston, a 1 seed. This team has wins, a sweep of the regular season against Boise State. This team beat New Mexico, who a lot of people love. I think they've beaten really good teams and shown who they are. UC San Diego, even first game of the season, but the darling that went on to be everyone's favorite Cinderella loses to the San Diego State team. So the one thing you're going to know for a fact when you play San Diego State has been true the last 5 years. It's still true this year. It's an elite defense that doesn't beat itself. They have great rim protection, number one block rate team in the sport. They have the eighth best 2 point percentage defense in the sport. They have the 19th best 3 point percentage defense in the sport. All in all, you add it up, it's the 13th best defense. The only area they're vulnerable at on the defensive side is rebounding. Not a good rebounding team defensively. But North Carolina can't make them pay, Cart. North Carolina's outside the top 200 on offensive boards. So to me, I anticipate this matchup will be one where North Carolina's talented guards, their undersized talent, is going to need to go make plays against grown men that are in their shit. And I don't know that I believe in North Carolina enough to get up and actually do that in this game.
Yeah, and look, I feel like also there's a factor to this that North Carolina's happy to be in, but also aren't they kind of down on themselves a little bit after how their season ended mentally? Like, where do you think this team is at mentally?
They should be.
Outside of like everything like metrically and that we just talked about.
They should be. I feel like they're happy to be here. I think they're like, oh shit, here we go. But I don't think any of them packed a bag. It's kind of like last night my wife looked at me and was like, "Hey, I'm going to bed. You should probably pack a bag in case we got to go to the hospital. I could have a baby now." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go record for 4 hours, but I'll do that after. Like,
Mhm.
I'll pack the bag when the time comes." I think that's where this North Carolina team is, and safe to say, I'm not the most prepared for my second child right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, to all the points that you made, I've also just been kind of I've been a San Diego State appreciator just because I love Miles Bird. He's one, like, if people have not watched him, I truly think that he's going to end up being an NBA player one day. He's got tools, he's got game. Boyd's like this tough nosed, been there in March, like gamer type guy. And
Big
then
Ten champ Nick Boyd.
I'm sorry, what?
Big Ten champ Nick Boyd.
How's he a Big Ten champ?
Well, he's Dusty's, and any Dusty product gets to claim this banner with me.
Oh,
So,
okay, congrats. And
yeah.
then uh Magoon Guath is like a top five shot blocker in the country. Obviously, like their block percentage rate is number one. That's basically because of him. He's top four in the country block percentage wise. He erases everything at the rim. And I just don't think that North Carolina will be able to hit enough threes, like you kind of stated, to get over the hump in this one.
Yeah, the one thing to watch for, Magungwath missed the final 5 games of the season, and they lost in the first round of the Mountain West tournament to Boise. The research I've done says that he's day to day. Says
Ah,
he was day to day when this was going on. But if Guath is out, obviously it neutralizes everything that I'm saying is an advantage for San Diego State.
true. That's very much true because he is the rim protection.
One of the best freshmen in the country, by the way, Guath.
Yeah, he's
Kind of
getting a lot of NBA buzz.
kind of underappreciated, but he's got potential in a big way. Who's the best player in this game? Assume both teams are healthy.
RJ Davis,
Who's the second best player?
Miles Bird.
Whoa, okay. Interesting. I
Mm,
thought you were going to rattle off 4 North Carolina players before you got to Bird, which is where I was headed with that.
no,
Okay. Well, in that case, who's the best coach in this game?
Dutcher.
Did you have to look up who San Diego State's coach was for a second?
No, I didn't.
I thought that was moment.
Now I was thinking about it, but it's Dutch.
It is Dutch. Pass me the Dutchie.
Uh, Put him in a Dutch oven, Hubert.
All right. Let's get to predictions. Ken Pom has San Diego State losing by 2 points to Hubert Davis's North Carolina Tar Heels. What do you think will happen?
I'm going to buy San Diego State's defense, and I'm going to buy what I've said the whole season. North Carolina is a bad basketball team. They are just bad. That's straight up. You look at these two teams' resumes. The wins that San Diego State has had are astronomically better than what UNC is as a team. I'm going to pick San Diego State straight up in this basketball game. Let's stop this UNC charade.
I'm going to pick San Diego State. That's where I'm at. I don't think North Carolina deserved to be here. And even if I believe they could win this game, I have integrity. They don't belong here. And I will not pick them to win a game in a tournament they don't belong in. Sorry, North Carolina fans. It's the reality. This team is incredibly fortunate to have a chance. You guys know that. You can admit that. And if you win this game, maybe we'll seriously analyze the next one. But it's a tough defense. A team that's it made a Sweet 16 last year, Cart. The San Diego State program has won a game, at least in the NCAA tournament, the last couple years. So I trust Dutch right now. I trust the makeup of this roster. Give me the Aztecs.